Hey everyone, welcome to part 5 of our Getting Started with RPG Maker. So, we have some mistakes to fix, some bugs to address, and we're going to have to start a new playthrough first. But we can get into a lot of things that this video wants to cover now. Let's just start with some errors that we see in this game. First of all, this guy hardly is blocking our direction. So, we're going to want to change at least that. So we see this tile set right here. Let's go in and make that something that the player cannot move from. So I'm going to go down to tile sets. I believe we're in the outside world. Now you kind of have to go through and just check. I think this is in... There we go. Bush. Let's make sure. Okay, we can see that there is some passage. Let's just change this circle to X. I think that'll stop a lot of the ability to move through. Because these are the bushes in question. And let's just test that out to make sure. Do these look the same? They do. Perfect. I'm going to get rid of those, but now we'll have our character not able to leave here. All right, I'm going to go back into events. So, we need two things to happen. One, we set up this dragon to be pretty powerful, and we're going to want to interact with our new character we built. So let's go in and just call this Tough Guy. And let's go ahead and add in our new actor one. We'll set them looking at the dragon. So the priority can be same as characters and the trigger being the action button. That's perfect. We want that. Let's add him in and say some hello. Okay, so now we have the ability to do it. Now let's go look into the showing of some choices. Let's just leave it at yes or no. So now we see, kind of like a conditional branch, we have the options. So yes and no. Let's just start with when no. We don't really want to give them the... Well, we'll just have our character disappear. So show text. Oh. All right. I don't know. Let's give it a little more character than that. Okay, so as we do text, this is the first time we've actually gotten this far, but it's limited to 4 lines of dialogue, unless we do batch entry, in which case we can actually create more. So let's just add that 5th line. Well, you are mean. I don't want to play. Okay. So you'll see that it'll just automatically create these new windows for batch entry. But this way, when we're doing longer lines of dialogue, we don't have to do the cumbersome process of making a new text box each and every time. All right, so then we're just going to want to do a new event page with self switch A being on. And let's actually do self switch A. But we'll make the event disappear just like we did the other one. So let's just go in, fade out screen, control self switch A, and fade in. So we can do choices within choices. So that's why I wanted to get into yes. So let's just do some dialogue. Great. Who do you want replaced? One thing to also note is that RPG Maker doesn't do spell check. So if you are watching these videos on, please just bear with me if I've misspelled anything. So let's just go ahead and show another choice. So we know the main characters when we start. We'll leave Reed, but let's make it either Michelle, Casey, or Elliot. So now we have 3 options. We're going to make sure that these 3 things, so I hit shift and I can copy all of them. I'm going to control C, I'm going to control V, and control V. So we want the screen to still fade out, but let's, right here when we select control self switch A being on, let's do new. Now we're going to change party member. So we're going to add Trey, and let's just initialize them. All right. Now this is the one that's going to be different for all of them. So let's go ahead and remove Michelle. Change party member. We'll go to Michelle and remove her. And then we'll do that with Casey. And Elliot. Okay. Great. Now Trey should be in our party. Let's just get right into the battle processing of that. We'll start with a dragon. And then let's just do something afterwards. Let's just do dim, middle, E1. Okay, so we don't always want to get all the way into the main battle to see if we're going to win or lose this fight, at least on the game designer standpoint. So before we test this, let's go back real quick into here. Let's look at the enemy. All right, it's a pretty strong dragon. Let's see what happens, though, when we want to battle test it. So let's go to troops on the dragon, and we'll do this battle test option. So I don't know, let's just say I replaced Casey in this case, and I want to set it to Trey because the initial is set at level 10. So that should be more than capable, but we're also going to see how tough this dragon guy is. Okay, so we can see that Trey is able to go ahead and fight this thing. Let's just do one quick playthrough to get through the battle, and let's make sure everything we've done to this point works. All right, sorry. Let's just do what we did last time. All right. We still have some tweaking we could do, but I think that's good for part 5. All right, start designing around, start seeing whatever you want, and build this out. Thanks for playing, everyone. Bye.